frozen. But we're ready with career development. Ask me anything, with our topic this week being the elevator pitch. And this is a great topic because it covers a couple of areas. So this will get you ready for networking. It also gets you ready for the number one most commonly asked question on the interview. What's that question, Margaret or Mac?
You want to say it or?
Go for it.
All right. Tell me about yourself. So.
Tell me about yourself, right? So I often tell students, if you can nail that question, that first question on the interview, your confidence level will soar and you'll feel like you got the rest of the interview going. So working on the elevator pitch, working on the introduction is key to nailing any kind of networking scenario or your interview as well. So it is worth it. This is an investment. It's worth it to spend some time developing the elevator pitch, developing your introduction. And then the second step, practice, practice, practice. Because it's one thing to write it down and it's another thing to deliver it. And you can tell the first time that you want to deliver it, you're going to choke up, you're going to want to laugh, it's going to feel awkward. And the truth is, here's the reality. Who talks about themselves that way? No one, right? This is a very unusual way to talk about yourself. And for many people, I'd venture to say the majority of people, it's very awkward to talk about all of your accomplishments and all the things that you've done and why I'm so amazing and why you should think about me. But I have to tell you, it helps to practice. It helps to write it down. Stick with facts. You're not telling anybody, you're not giving anybody adjectives. You're talking about facts. I am a student at North Central College. I am a junior. I am, an accounting major. I'm looking for an internship. So stick to the facts. It would make you feel a lot less awkward when you're delivering it. The other quick tip I want to mention before I go into what actually goes into the elevator pitch is that when you are preparing it, don't prepare a paragraph. You're not going to memorize a script. That feels very awkward, not just for you when you're delivering it, but for the receiver as well, right? We're going to be able to tell that you memorized the script and you're rattling it off. And then if you forget a part of it, you're going to forget what's next, and that's going to be awkward. So my suggestion to you, I'm going to tell you 4 things that need to go into the elevator pitch. My suggestion is that you do bullet points. This will make it easier for you to switch things around if you're meeting with a different type of employer. If you're in a different context, it'll be easier for you to rattle off parts of it. If you forget some of it, you're not going to get flustered. And then you can mix it up and mix it around. So bullet points for all of the elements that are going to go into your elevator pitch. Practice as much as possible. You're going to practice in front of your mirror. You're going to practice with your roommate or your sibling. You're going to practice with your parents. Big hint here, you're going to practice on big interview. Record yourself. See yourself. Get over the awkward experience of hearing yourself deliver this pitch. Nobody likes the way they sound, right? But we have to kind of get over that. And again, before I get into the content of what is an elevator pitch or your introduction, I want to give you a couple of other resources. I want to first acknowledge that this is an anxiety. People get nervous about this, and that is normal. Everybody gets nervous. Mac, were you nervous when you've interviewed for any of your positions?
Yes.
Margaret, networking, interviewing. How you feel?
Very nervous.
And so do I. And this is what I do for a living. And let me tell you, it is totally normal to feel anxious, to feel nervous, to feel butterflies, to have a little bit of self-doubt. And I want you all to know that that is okay. We're all experiencing it. It's a normal part of the process. However, if you're feeling like the anxiety or those feelings of self-doubt are difficult for you to overcome, I want you to know that you do have resources on campus. Number one, if you just want to get some more expert advice around how to deliver your pitch more confidently, how to appear more confident or more effective in any of these job search communication situations, there is the Speaking Center on campus. So just go to the North Central College website, look for the Speaking Center. They will be happy to help you put your elevator pitch together, practice it, give you pointers so that you can perfect this pitch. You can also work with us, but there are experts on campus around communication and effective delivery of communication. Secondly, you can also reach out to the Dyson Center. If you're feeling like any part of the performance part of this, right? Like if you get nervous delivering a presentation in the classroom, or being in that kind of like social situation where you're working with other students or other professors, you can absolutely reach out to the Dyson Wellness Center and talk through some of the strategies and the tools that'll help you overcome the anxiety so that you can deliver your elevator pitch effectively. Because once you get over that hump, as I mentioned, once you deliver it once confidently, you're going to soar through the rest of the conversation. So what's an elevator pitch, right? So I have to ask Mac or Margaret, do you know the history of the elevator pitch, why it's called the elevator pitch? What is it?
So I think the
What's
idea
the
is
logic?
if you were in the elevator with someone with an opportunity, assuming you aren't in a Manhattan skyscraper, you probably only have maybe 30 seconds to tell them everything they might need to know about you, to remember you and think of you for that perfect position. So if you were in an elevator with someone, like, tell them about yourself in the 30 seconds in the best possible way.
That's absolutely right. That's why it's called the elevator pitch. Quick ride, you have someone with an opportunity in front of you. You have to be able to introduce yourself effectively and get everything across so that you can walk out of the elevator with an opportunity, right? So that's the whole idea. Now, we're not riding elevators together anymore. We're not having a lot of like handshakes and like one-on-one interactions there, but there's still that introduction, that pitch, we'll just call it pitch for now. That pitch is going to be critical for every networking scenario. If you're going to that career fair, that one-on-one, that introduction in the Q&A, critical. You can get yourself across in 30 seconds. Easy, right? You've got your foot in the door. So that's why it's called the elevator pitch. We'll just call it the pitch for now. And again, if you can nail this part, you'll be that much closer to nailing the first part of the interview. So what goes into the pitch? What goes into your introduction? Now, we were chit-chatting before we started recording this about how it's very, very tempting when somebody asks you to tell you about themselves, or when you begin to introduce yourself, you want to tell them everything about you, right? You don't know where to start. So I'm going to give you some quick bullet points of what you do include as a student going to a career fair, or going to, true story, going to a grocery store and talking to the person behind you because there's a long line, or we've heard this one from students as well, working at a restaurant, the person that you're serving, you get into a conversation with them and they end up being, in a position to be able to hire someone in your area. This happened to be in psychology, what I'm talking about. So opportunity is everywhere and you've got to be prepared for it. What do you want to say? Number one, of course, you're going to give them your name, all your stats, right? Your name, your year in school, the school that you're at, your major, and then if there's something interesting that stands out about you, you can add it there. So for example, I'm making this up. My name is Heidi Nunez. I'm a junior at North Central College. I'm studying accounting, and I am currently the treasurer for the Student Accounting Society, right? So that could be your quick first part of the introduction. When you're meeting with an employer, they already know that you're likely looking for an internship because you're a junior. They know that you're looking for an accounting internship. They know that you have leadership experience just in that one quick line. So the first bullet point and your sub bullet points is going to have your name, your year in school, your college, your major, and again, maybe something interesting about you that's going to make you stand out. It doesn't have to be related to your major. It could be, swing society or anime club, or I studied abroad last year or something like that. Just something to differentiate you. Then going to talk about your career goal, right? So this is kind of think about where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your ultimate goal, right? I'm studying for the CPA exam, or, I'd love to be a part of a large company that has mission-oriented values or something like that. What is your career goal? You may still be exploring it. So I do like to tell students, don't feel like you just locked yourself in to a career goal if this is what you said in your elevator pitch. Your pitch is just your pitch, right? And let's be honest, your pitch is going to change from one employer to the other. It's going to change from one career fair to the next networking situation. That is okay. It's not a transcript. It's just your introduction. Then you're going to talk about what you have to offer, right? So if you've done some great projects in your class, if you've done an internship before, if you've held down a part-time job, if you have taken on leadership roles at a student organization, if you're an athlete on campus, campus work study, what is it that you're going to offer? And here I'm going to give you some quick hints. At North Central College, you have a lot of opportunity to develop your career readiness skills. So you are likely going to be able to talk about your experience with communication, problem solving and critical thinking, teamwork, leadership, digital technology, adaptability, on and on and on. Right? So what are you going to offer to the company? This is where you can also list some characteristics. Hardworking, strong work ethic. I've held down the same part-time job for 3 years and have risen up the ranks, and now I'm a key holder at the store or something like that. Then you're going to be very direct about what you are seeking, right? I'm looking for an opportunity to intern with your company this summer. I'm graduating in May, and I'm looking for full-time opportunities as an analyst or something like that. And you can ask them a question at this point. What opportunities do you have for me? What kind of opportunities do you have for Spanish majors? Does your company typically look at, students outside of science majors or something like that? So wrap it up really quickly. The 4 bullet points. Your stats: name, year in school, college, major. Next, your career goal. Next, what do you have to offer? And end it with, what do you want from them? What are you seeking? Okay, so take those 4 bullet points, jot them down, and then practice, practice, practice. The good news is there's a lot of resources on campus to be able to help you practice it and develop it. I talked about the Speaking Center. I talked about Dyson Wellness Center. You can reach out to Career Development to practice it. You also have Big Interview, where you can learn more about what the elevator pitch, record yourself practicing it. And Margaret can tell you more about this. We also have a practice virtual career fair coming up next week on Thursday. Do you want to say more about that, the group session and the one-on-one sessions?
You bet. So the practice preparation fair and handshake, you can register for group sessions that your career development team right here, we're going to be hosting sessions to give you a little bit more in-depth information about how to prepare, how to maximize your time with employers, as well as more tips on the elevator pitch or the pitch. So you can sign up for those group sessions just to learn more, kind of like an environment like this. You can also sign up for a one-on-one session with one of us for 10 minutes where you can practice. And if you have more very specific questions about your own elevator pitch, we can help you out there. But we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to practice, especially in the online environment, because talking at a computer feels a little different than talking to a person.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I think the last things that I want to mention about elevator pitch isn't just about the pitch. I'm sorry, I keep saying elevator pitch. Don't get in an elevator. Pitch. The last thing I want to say about the pitch is just managing your body language and your behavior is really going to help with an effective delivery. So this is going to be helpful for you anytime you're networking online, when you're in class and things like that. So these are a couple things I want you to think about, right? where you're sitting and how you're sitting. Make sure that you have a sturdy chair. You're probably sitting up at the edge of it a little bit. You've got your shoulders back so that you can manage your posture. You can keep your hands on your lap, keep your hands on your desk, whatever it is fine. Just make sure that your posture is the same. So basically you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you're not doing this, right? Sorry, I had to give you the visual. And then you're going to want to smile, right? So even if you're feeling nervous, even if you're feeling a little bit doubtful, smile anyway. You're gonna start feeling a little bit more confident once you get people to smile. And then of course, as effectively as you can, make eye contact. I know that's awkward in the virtual environment, but basically saying like you're not looking down, you're not looking away. Do the best you can to maintain eye contact. Those little behavioral tips will help you feel a little bit more confident about your delivery. So I'm going to stop there, and we'll post this recording for students to be able to access later. Thanks.